Did you know you shine and I'm falling for the way you smile? You're gonna take it right now, honestly right now. Discover today you are. So never fall in line. You just gotta do it mile by mile. You're gonna take it right now, honestly right now. You are. Do you find yourself under the weight? You're just wishing you could clean the slate, like you're tumbling and you won't slow down. Do you feel like all you do is wait, and you're helpless in the hands of fate, like you lost your way and can't get found? But did you know you shine and I'm falling for the way you smile? You're gonna take it right now, honestly right now. 'Cause you're a champion, you are. Champion, you are. When you're on the edge, you're fading fast. Let the future light up your path, 'cause it's coming and it can't slow down. But did you know you shine and I'm falling for the way you smile? You're gonna take it right now, honestly right now. 'Cause you're a champion, you are. So never fall in line.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to a epic live stream today. Super excited you all are here. Today, I wanted to talk about the hidden links of self-worth and business success. If you are looking at the title, in whichever place you're watching this, because this live stream is being streamed in all the places. So it's going on the Facebook page, it's going on the Facebook profile, it's going in the Confident Facebook group, it's going on YouTube. This is going in all the places because this is a really, really, really important issue on my heart to talk about today. And I'm super excited to bring so much joy, so much love, so much encouragement to all of you and really talk about the idea of worthiness, self-worth, self-image, in ways that I've never, ever discussed it before. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this right now in this time and place is because one of the things that I've realized with so many people that I've coached, because at this point, if you all have been following me for a while, you know I've coached over 1,000 entrepreneurs, many of them in the travel entrepreneurial space, but many, many badass people that I've coached, thousands of people at this time, whether it's in group coaching or one-on-one coaching, all those kinds of pieces. And I've noticed from coaching them and also even in my own personal life, that's a big piece of whether we have the money, the clients, we charge what we want to charge, we how we show up on social media, how many followers we have. Like there's just so much of the results, those tangible things that we want to experience in our lives and our business that make us go, yes, right? When you wake up, I mean, who doesn't get excited when you have another client, another sale, more opportunities? When you have more followers, that's more opportunities for leads, engagement. Like who doesn't get excited about those things inside of your business or even in your personal life? Those things that make you go, yes, I'm so excited. I've noticed that a huge piece that a lot of business owners, agency owners, travel entrepreneurs miss is the impact that their self-worth, their self-image, their worthiness actually has on those end results that we are all wanting to have in our business. And so that's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about the hidden links between self-worth and your business success. And my hope through this call, riff, rant, reframe, whatever you want to call it today, is that you never think about your self-worth the same way ever, ever, ever again. Because I feel like when it comes to like self-worth, self-image, and self-love, like those words have been like beaten to a pulp in like popular culture, self-help culture, that people just very easily dismiss those as like buzzwords without taking them seriously at all inside of their life and their business. And after seeing the effects of the before and the after, like I can't express how important those pieces are. So that's what we're going to talk about today. If you have questions while I am riffing, ranting, and reframe tonight, I would absolutely love for y'all to put those in the chat. I'm more than happy to answer those questions. Um, I will get to this at the end of the call today, but this is probably going to go in a bonus in one of my courses. So we're killing two birds with one stone. I'm creating new content, which you all get to hear live, and no cost, no charge. And at the same time, I'll probably repurpose it and put it as a bonus because okay, so I have to explain something, because if y'all know my email list, you know that I had sent out an email, said, hey, I'm gonna reopen something that has been closed for over a year. And I am, and I'm gonna tell you what that is at the end of this. So you definitely want to watch till the end, besides just the massive encouragement you're gonna get. But I was very surprised because I have quite a few clients who have taken more than one of my courses, whether it's like Confident AF, Badass Mindset Bootcamp, Born to Slay, quite a few of my courses. And for whatever reason, a lot of people say that the course that I'm reopening, that I'll announce later on tonight, is their favorite. Like, it is their favorite course. They love the course. There's one module in particular, I think everyone really, it impacts them a lot. And so basically, I'm already kind of talking about it, but basically this course is all about self-worth. And let's just go and talk about self-worth. Let's just address what self-worth is. So self-worth is just your own lens, your own perspective on what you are worth. And I have the bottle. I have the old water bottle. Have you all heard the analogy about the water bottle, where it's like, if you buy it at the store, it's like 75 cents. But if you take the bottle of water to, let's say, Disney, it's like $3.50. Or if you take it, let's say you're in the middle of the desert and like there's no other water around, you can charge like 15-20 bucks for a bottle of water. The water doesn't change, but the value and what people are willing to pay for it changes based on the lens and the perspective. And I use that analogy because as a business owner, you can't charge higher prices if you don't feel like you're worth it. And I see a lot of travel entrepreneurs struggle with planning fees, planning packages, because they're not stepping into their worthiness. You can't work with people that you don't feel like you're worthy to work with. I've also seen this in both high ticket coaching. I've seen this in travel. For example, let's say that your income is, say, make six figures, but all of a sudden a billionaire or multimillionaire wants to work with you. Or let's say, like me, you're a mindset expert, and then all of a sudden someone in Hollywood wants to work with you, and you're like, oh my gosh, like this person is like up there. Like anytime that you have any kind of self-worth issues, like the bottle of water, it will impact so many aspects of your business. Your self-worth in your business will impact how much you can charge. It'll impact how high level and what kind of clients you actually attract inside of your business. It will affect your confidence on sales calls. It will affect how you show up on social media and how you do your marketing. It will affect how you serve your clients and how you show up in that, and whether you have boundaries or you don't have boundaries, let people walk all over you, or whether you toe the line. Your self-worth will have a huge impact on that. Now, here's the piece that a lot of people miss. But your self-worth will also impact your ability to grow and scale your business, your ability to learn new things inside of your business. Because people who struggle with perfectionism or validation, and perfectionism can look a lot of different ways inside of your business and for your life. Perfectionism can be a lot of procrastination. Perfectionism can be like obsessive, um, compulsive, like everything has to be perfect, like a lot of control. And if you are a perfectionist inside of your business and your control, it's very difficult to lead a team. It's very difficult to trust clients and to trust your team, because you want to control them and control what they do and control everything, as opposed to letting them step into a zone of genius. If you have that perfectionism, it's very difficult to learn new things inside of your business, for you to implement new things inside of your business, because you want everything to be perfect before you launch. You want everything to be perfect before you run an ad. You want everything to be perfect before you start serving your clients. And I've seen people like not open up new flows of revenue for their business because they're trying to get everything perfect as opposed to striving to do their best and striving to do excellent. Another way that self-worth will impact your business is the idea of grace. Because a lot of people get attached to hardship and sacrifice inside of your business, and having, like, that's where burnout happens. And grace is God's free and unmerited favor. And if you are trying to be perfect, there is no room for grace in your business. And if you don't feel like you're worthy of receiving God's grace, love, favor, then you're not going to receive that overflow. You're not going to receive those clients just because. You're not going to receive the just because blessings. You're not going to receive those just because opportunities, because you can't. Your free will is so incredibly powerful. And in fact, I mentioned this story inside of the course, but and I feel like it's really important to mention again, which is the story of Gideon's Bakehouse. My husband and I wanted to go try Gideon's Bakehouse at Disney Springs. They had the most delicious, amazing cookies ever. And it's very small. If you go inside, it's very reminiscent of like a Tim Burton movie. And there was a young woman who was standing outside, and the wait can be crazy. The wait at this day was like 4 hours. And we had already received our text. We were back in line. We were about to go inside. And my husband noticed a young woman who was bald, and she had some scars on her head. She was wearing a really beautiful sundress. And she was talking to a cast member who told her like the wait's like 3.5, 4 hours. You could just see like her happiness just evaporate from her whole entire face. Just her whole happiness just evaporated. And she was so sad, so like downtrodden over this news. And my husband goes, I really think we should invite her to like be our friend and just come into Gideon's with us. So my husband introduced himself to her. We found out it was this young woman's birthday, and she came to Disney Springs all alone, which was why she was so sad. All she wanted to do was come get a cookie or a piece of cake to celebrate her birthday at Disney Springs. And so the fact that we saved her 4 hours was like huge. Well, of course, when we found out that it was her birthday, we asked her, we said, hey, would it be okay if we buy you anything you want? It's your birthday. We'll buy you anything you want from Gideon's. And she said no. And the reason why this story is so impactful is because a lot of people say, I want more money. I want more sales. I want more clients. I want better clients. I want more followers on social media. Like you want all these things. But if you don't feel worthy to receive those things, you can't have the things. And a lot, like this young woman felt worthy to save the 4 hours, but she didn't feel worthy to have strangers pay for her to have something on her birthday. And so when I work with business owners, one of the things that I love helping people with is, do you actually feel worthy to have 100,000 followers? Do you actually feel worthy to be a millionaire inside of your business? Do you actually feel worthy to have someone who's willing to pay you $1,000, $5,000 for coaching or for a trip if you're a travel entrepreneur? Do you feel worthy to have that nice house that you really, really want? Do you feel worthy to drive that car? Do you feel worthy to have your leads work all the time? Do you feel worthy to have those things that you keep asking for? Because like the young girl at Gideon's, if you don't feel worthy to have those things, even when those things are presented, one of two things is going to happen. Either you're going to self-sabotage and you're going to repel them because you don't feel like you can have them, or you're going to say no, you're going to turn it down. So the girl at Gideon's turned it down. But I've seen it happen where people ask for more leads and they ask for leads and ask for leads, but then they're uncomfortable actually having the leads, servicing the people, servicing the clients, charging that price or whatever. And it's all because of their worthiness, And so I feel like this worthiness issue is one of the biggest missed opportunities that so many badasses miss, that if they would shift their worthiness, they would see that increase in sales. They would see that increase in clients. They would see that increase in leads. They would see some of those tangible results that they really, really want to see inside of their business. They would see when they felt worthy to receive them. And the other thing that's really interesting about the worthiness and what you receive inside of your business is if you don't feel like you've done enough inside of your business, that's another reason why you don't receive it. So some people will be like, well, I'll be like, they don't feel worthy to have X number of leads or X number of clients because they posted once on social media or they posted 3 times on social media. So they feel guilty or they feel shame because they don't feel like they've taken enough action inside of their business. The really cool thing about receiving grace and love inside of your business, which most nobody ever talks about, is that grace and love means receiving free and unmerited favor, which means that you're taking action inside of your business. Yes, because faith without works is dead. So you're taking action inside of your business, but you get these awesome miracles, these awesome overflows, these awesome things inside of your business, and you feel safe to receive them because it's not about what you're doing all the time. And so I've also seen people where they believe that they have to work like 20 hours a day or 12 hours a day, and they have to post every single day, 3 times a day in order to get what they keep asking God for inside of their business. Then it's not like that. It's not like that unless you believe it has to be that way, because if you believe it has to be that way, energetically, it's like you're a match that you have to like work and kill yourself to get what you actually want inside of your business. In fact, I'm studying a really great mindset course on the book of Proverbs. And one of the things that Proverbs talks about is laziness of thought versus laziness of action, and how laziness of thought costs more than laziness of action. And that idea or that principle actually goes perfectly with this idea of self-worth, because if you think it's always based on how much action you're taking and how hard an effort you're doing inside of your business determines your worthiness level and what you can have, what you can receive, then you're always going to have to work hard. You're always going to have to be busting your butt, versus having clarity and taking intentional action inside of your business, inside of your life, so that you're doing the right action at the right time that's going to give the biggest results and the least amount of time with the least amount of effort. It's a completely different way of thinking. And that brings me to the next piece, which is self-image. So self-image in your business is very interesting because there's a tie to self-image in terms of your worthiness, because self-image is just how you view yourself. And it's often how you view yourself that determines how you view about yourself and what you're worth. Everybody follow that so far? So often what happens is we look at our income, we look at our knowledge and our experience inside of our business, we look at where we've come from, we look at our maybe ethnicity, we could look at whether we're LGBTQ or not, we could look at a lot of different variety of factors. And based on what society has told us or what other people have told us or what has been reflected back to us, we come up with this self-image, which is how we see ourselves. And self-image can be either a really beautiful thing or a very harmful thing. Because for me, for a long time, my self-image was because I was gay, that I was unlovable, I was unworthy, I was disgusting, I was gross, I was like an abomination, like all these things as a part of my identity. And the way that was reflected back to me was like how I lived, like my house and my car, and nobody hiring me when I was out in Hollywood almost 10 years ago, like all these pieces. And when you change your view of yourself and that self-image, really incredible and amazing things will really happen in your life, because who you are, your outside world is always going to be a reflection of who you view yourself to be internally. And it's also why the Bible talks about you are a new image or a new creation in Christ, right? It's the same reason, is because it's changing your self-image of who you see yourself. You're no longer a sinner, right? You are saved. You are renewed. A really interesting piece about this that I was watching a YouTube video from Bob Proctor, and you all will love this, especially if any of you all, myself included, however, had this mentality of I need to lose weight. I need to lose some weight. I need to shed some pounds. What's really interesting is, and I've talked about this in my Born to Slay High Level Mindset Mastermind. I talk about this a lot, which is your human brain has what's called a psycho-cybernetic mechanism. And all a psycho-cybernetic mechanism is, think of it like a goal-oriented mechanism. It's something that's focused on doing like one specific thing or one specific activity or task. The way that he described it in this YouTube video was like an airplane has one destination in mind, and the autopilot has a psycho-cybernetic mechanism so that when the plane starts to veer off course, it realigns itself to its destination and where it wants to go. So the way self-image can greatly impact your business is if your self-image is, I am a six-figure business owner, when you start to get close to making seven figures, if you haven't changed your self-image, your psycho-cybernetic mechanism is going to think that you're off course and needs to course correct to being back to six figures. Because you're not a seven-figure business owner, you're a six-figure business owner. Now you're making too much money. We got to course correct. Okay. The way that he explained in this video, which was a great analogy, is someone who identifies as I need to lose weight. So someone who says I need to lose weight, their identity or their self-image is that I am overweight. And so what happens is they lose the weight, right? Because they try to change their thoughts, they try to change their actions. But if they haven't integrated the new paradigm, because when you change how you think about yourself, and a paradigm is a collection of beliefs. Beliefs is a pattern of thought you choose to think over and over again. So when you change your thoughts, your beliefs, right, and you integrate a new paradigm, the reason why that's so important is because you're changing your self-image. For someone who says, I'm overweight, their self-image is, I am overweight. That is how they view themselves. So what happens is they lose the weight. So they drop the weight, right? And it's like, great, I lost the weight. Well, as soon as they lose the weight, the reason why subconsciously and through their thought paradigms, they start to gain the weight back is because their identity hasn't changed. They still identify as someone who is overweight, but now they're not overweight. So their identity, their self-image is misaligned with reality. And so their psycho-cybernetic mechanism is going to course correct. Something that I heard really powerful about this for someone who really transformed their body in a lot of ways, they said, I am not my body. Like basically separating that self-image from the idea of their body. And the other thing is when you love your body, even in my gym, Anytime Fitness, they have a great saying that says, don't work out because you hate your body, work out because you love your body, right? And I knew that when I started to change my habits about working out and what I was eating and what I was drinking, and by the way, I still have Dairy Queen Blizzards, I still drink Dr. Pepper, I still do all those things, but it's not from the self-image of I'm overweight. It's not from the self-image of I need to lose weight. It's not from any of those places. It's from the self-image of I love working out, I love my body, and I love to eat some of those foods, and I'm gonna eat them from time to time. And because of that, it allows me to lock in my psycho-cybernetic mechanism and keep in that identity. So one of the important pieces of self-image as far as a business owner is knowing how to change that self-image. Because if your self-image is I never have any leads, if your self-image is I don't have consistent clients, I don't have consistent lead flow, if your self-image is people are not willing to pay for my prices, or your self-image is I'm not confident in what I have to offer. If your self-image is any of those pieces, what happens is as you start to take action and good things start to have happening, your psycho-cybernetic mechanism will actually fight you. And this is what we call in Born to Slay, we call this the integration. The integration is when you're taking new action and you're integrating new paradigms, which is why sometimes people feel like there's this push and pull in this piece. But that's why your self-image is so important. And one of the things that I told all of my Born to Slayers a couple of weeks ago, as I said, instead of going to the store and buying, like when it comes to spring, instead of going and buying like a whole bunch of different outfits, I said, I want you to take the same amount of money you would use and just buy one really awesome, badass, kick-ass outfit that really just raises that self-image, that self-vibration of who you are. And see what that actually does for you. So the impact, negative and positive, of self-worth in business and life. So the more you view yourself as and the gifts that God has given you as higher, I would say higher, the higher you view yourself, and I want to be very clear about this. Having a high view of self, we're not talking about being egotistical. Okay. We are not talking about thinking that we are better than anybody else. That is not what we were talking about. We're talking about not putting people below us and not putting people above us. Everyone is on the same playing field. But what it means is that you have a high view of the gifts God has given you to give the world. You have a high view that you are worthy to receive massive compensation for your gifts inside of your business. You know that you're worthy to receive God's love, God's grace, God's wisdom. Because here's the other piece of worthiness. The more worthy you feel to receive God's grace and love, the more you're willing to ask. The more faith you have, the higher level prayers that you have for your business, for your personal life, all the things. And remember, if any of you, I'm not a biblical scholar, I'll be very clear about that. But one of the things that I've asked myself is I've been like, okay, but am I really worthy to receive those things if I am imperfect? And the answer is, if you're faith-based, yes, because Jesus already paid the price. End of story. End of story. What else do I want to say? I think that is a really good riff on that, I think I'll put a nice little bow on this. If you're not receiving more money in your business, if you're not receiving the leads that you want, if you're not having the high level clients that you want, if your home, your house, your car, like whatever is happening in your life, if you want something better, you want something more, I want you to ask yourself, if it was handed to you right now today, would you feel worthy to receive it? If you did have that client, if they were willing to pay that price, if you did have that many on your team, if you did have that car, if you did have that house, if you did have whatever it is, that thing that you want in your life or your business, would you actually feel worthy to have it? Or would you feel guilt and shame? And I will ask you this right now. Is there anything that you have guilt or shame inside of your business that you feel right now? Because if you feel any ounce of guilt and shame inside of your business right now, that is going to create resistance for your worthiness to receive really cool things. So if you feel guilty for working on your business instead of spending time with your kids, that will create some resistance for you to receive clients, to receive leads. If you feel guilty for spending time with your kids and not spending time in your business, that can also create havoc inside of your business for what you want. If you feel guilty that you're not running paid ads, that can create resistance inside of your business. If you feel guilty for not taking action inside of your business, that will erode your worthiness and able to see good inside of your business. Guilt and shame are the two biggest, just guilt, shame, and judgment. Those three pieces are the biggest destroyers of worthiness inside of your business. And if you want to know why the girl at Gideon's Bakehouse, she probably was going to feel guilty for strangers giving her money for something. And a lot of people feel guilty for receiving God's grace, free and unmerited favor, because they don't feel like they're worthy. But if you realize that Jesus already paid the ultimate sacrifice, then he did that so that you could receive the grace, right? It's amazing. It's amazing when you really think about judgment and grace and guilt and shame and how that worthiness factor, that energy, that mindset impacts subconsciously your ability to receive all the things inside of your business. It is very, 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 very powerful, 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 powerful. Okay, so are y'all ready for the big news? We got 12. Where are you guys? We got 12 people watching really live right now. So here's the really big news. I have a complete course that I created on worthiness for your life and your business, and it's called FYes, Love Yourself, Love Your Life. It is now reopened for the very first time since 2022. There is a very special price, very, very special price that is only going to be good through Friday. Then it's going to go up, and then everything will shut down on Monday. But I want to encourage you all, more importantly, to think about what I said today. Think about what I said today about worthiness, self-image, self-worth, and the hidden links between that and inside of your life and your business, because it's something that I wish I had really known a long, long, long time ago that nobody explained to me. And FYes, it has, so you all know, it's really crazy. So if y'all might not have known that I did a workshop for my Slayers. It was a freebie workshop for my Slayers. I did it live. I did it a couple weeks ago. It was a half-day workshop. I've taken that half-day workshop. That is now week 7. There are 7 weeks of content on how to create worthiness inside of your life and in your business. Step-by-step guide. There are over, I want to make sure I get this right. There are 13 main videos with over 7.5 hours of content. There are 8 bonus videos, with almost 2 hours of additional content that are only found inside of FYes Love Yourself, Love Your Life. All the videos were filmed over the last 3 years, the most recent ones being filmed a couple weeks ago. And the 8 bonus videos is a special thing called No Proof Required, which is all about releasing perfectionism and validation and all those kinds of things. Then you're going to get some really cool, and that's the No Proof Required piece is a bonus. And then the other thing you're going to get is my favorite Bible verses on self-love and self-acceptance. You're going to get my favorite top 10 affirmations on self-love and acceptance, my guide to creating custom affirmations, like how I create custom affirmations for my one-on-one coaching clients. You're going to get a guide on how to do that for yourself. My one-on-one guide on how to manifest and achieve your goals, which is really, really cool. And then the other thing too is that there's incredible journal prompts, incredible journal work to guide you through all this stuff, as well as affirmations for every single part of your week and for this journey. And I know there's probably some people that are watching this who maybe have taken FYes Love Yourself, Love Your Life, and who are really excited because, as I said earlier, when I started this live stream, people have reflected back to me that for some people, not everybody, but for some people, this is their absolute favorite digital course that I've ever created. And the reason why it's called FYes is because I believe that when we wake up in the morning, God doesn't want us to wake up and say, sucks to be alive today. He doesn't want us to wake up and look at our business and be downtrodden or disappointed. He wants us to wake up rejoicing and being glad, right, of all the goodness that is coming in through our life and through our business. And I can't think of a better thing for us all to work on than another level of worthiness, because you all know I self-sabotaged when we had over 20,000 followers on TikTok for my travel agency. I completely self-sabotaged. I did not feel worthy to have 20,000 followers. I didn't know. I was afraid to what to say, how to handle it, yada, 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 yada. And I think, when people talk about finances and wanting more with their money, would you know what you would do with the money if you had it? Do you feel worthy to have that amount of money? There's so much more that is not really talked about in business besides all those practical tools, practical resources, because if your funnels are working, if your paid ads are working, if that social media is working, but you don't feel worthy to service the client or charge those prices or help that kind of individual, if they're like, a king or queen of their industry, like they can all bring all the hard work tumbling down for you if you don't feel worthy to receive it. Anyway, I think that's all I have to say about that today. Thank you all so much for joining this live stream. I'm going to leave this up for, I guess I'll leave this up for the duration of the launch, but make sure you guys enroll ASAP to get that special price, which is available. And I love you all. So happy to have so many of you all join. And I will put the link in all the places down below so you all have it. Love you all. Bye-bye.